From a Christian, I find something more troubling is that if indeed that we live on a flat earth, that the creator or whoever's put this in place has done things in a way to hide reality.
Sure.
And I could deal with humans are weird, humans are...
So what? God has hidden certain aspects of reality if Earth is flat. This is pure projection. Go on, Neil.
I'm saying, what is he talking about? How would that be hiding reality?
Because in his mind, Earth is obviously sphere-shaped because he's been born and raised with that belief. Therefore, if it is flat and he hasn't noticed, God has hidden something from him. Devious God hiding this flat Earth from him. No, it wasn't hidden. You just didn't look hard enough. The men who hid the origins of the globe, that would be the flat Earth measurements, that's not God. God didn't hide the origins of your globe faith. That would be the flat Earth measurements. That isn't God. It's men. Men
are evil. Humans want to hide things. I can do that. A creator.
Yeah, men can do that, and they have. They've hidden the origins of your globe faith from you. Here they are on screen. The elevation angle measurements to the stars with respect to the flat Earth we dwell atop. The function of all maps, models, and indeed the globe relies on us being capable of measuring Earth flat for these angle acquisitions of stars and sun for mapping. That is how the territory we know has expanded. For example, some of the audience may live on the New Worlds. Why would we call them New Worlds, you ask? Oh, well, because they didn't exist to certain parts of the culture that we have in the Western world currently until they were discovered as we traversed the world flat and utilised angle measurements to the stars to expand that known flat territory. So when we found the new worlds and mapped the new worlds and measured the new worlds with respect to the horizontal plane of reference, the angles off a horizontal plane of reference, and sea level on a horizontal plane of reference, we then colonised these new worlds after they were found in what used to be called space. So to summarise, we found new worlds in space, and now some of you live on them. We found them flat, navigated to them flat, documented and measured them flat, got an idea of the topology itself with reference to a flat plane, and found our way home with angles to the stars off a flat plane. Those are all undisputable facts. Literally nothing I have just said can ever be challenged. There was no ambiguity. There was no factual inaccuracy. Nothing I said could be challenged. Now, wouldn't it be useful if instead of talking about the new worlds discovered flat, mapped flat, measured flat, and when we found our way back, we used the exact same flat systems with angles to stars that developed the grid system in the first place to expand it outwards? Wouldn't it be better if we were talking about somewhere that we did not know and there wasn't certain facts about, that maybe you aren't standing on right now listening to this show with an internet connection on that new world? Wouldn't it be better if we talked about somewhere that no one was? So when we talk about finding it and discovering it in relation to a flat Earth, it's got absolutely sod all to do with the facts of the matter in terms of how we've navigated and brought up our world with these angles on screen now. No, let's talk about Antarctica. Maybe if we mix Antarctica up right in the mix with the moon landings, we've got an entire shit sandwich of nonsense that you can't extract any flat earth proof out of. So I think that's what we should talk about when we talk about expanding the known worlds. Let's speculate indefinitely about a place that none of us have ever been. I've spoken to one person in my entire flat earth career who spent 18 months in Antarctica. And all he had to really prove was there wasn't a 24-hour sun down there. That was his testimony and its usefulness. Why would we find any use in this ice-ridden world that we're led to believe is either an island at the bottom of a globe that doesn't exist after measuring Earth flat, or an ice wall, according to the feast of nonsense wrapped around us that none of us have proven to be true. We shouldn't! We can prove Earth's flat with the way it was expanded in our known history. And nothing you say about the measurements and mapping of that process can be challenged. Who's interrupting me from G+? Go ahead.
Sorry. I just, when you were talking about Antarctica and a 24-hour sun, you have to put a fact into an if statement to get an affirming of the consequent with it. Because really what you're asking is, if the elevation angle of the sun stays above the horizon for an entire 24-hour period, it must be a globe? Elevation angle above the horizon? What?
Exactly. Every claim that they will use to infer an axis of rotation for Earth to be spinning to give us a 24-hour sun will require a horizontal plane of reference to describe the axis from. If you're going to describe an angle of elevation with respect to the horizon, remaining perpetually above it, then you're describing a flat angle measurement to the sun. There's no getting around it. Everything we do and detail with respect to our ground is flat, in terms of how it's measured. There's no ambiguity.